Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, Phoop, Ryun, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Phoop, joined by my co-hosts, Ryun and Antoine. And we are back from a hiatus, a unplanned hiatus. Our bad.
We were trying to make money.
To bring you episode 54 of the Blerd Mob podcast. So we back in the studio. Bum, bum, bum. But I think we owe it all to you guys, to let you know where we've been. I moved. I got my master's. Ryun got his master's. Antoine really didn't even want to be here. So
all right.
He was just having fun.
We moved from the same location and went to the same location. So
Antoine was like, you know what? I'm out of here.
I'm gonna just head
Antoine
out.
said, "Oh, they busy. I'm gonna find a way to stay busy too."
Yeah, I'm not even gonna stay busy. I'm just gonna act like I'm busy.
Look, you could have got a master's with us, Antoine. I don't know what happened.
I could have, but I don't know.
Might as well.
It's how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, stuff got hecked. I think the last episode we put out, I was looking at the recordings. It said March. But yeah, my capstone for my master's program kicked up. All the stuff. Let's talk about this. There is a lot of shit that you have to do if you're moving across the country. Like,
oh, you don't say. You don't say.
Oh,
that's only one for Miss.
The first time I moved, okay. Let me preface with this. I did move from Mississippi to Nebraska, but that was when I graduated college. And you know, when you come out of college, you don't have a lot of. You don't
got too much. I put all my stuff in a trailer and I got on down on the road.
I put mine in a little Honda Fit. I put the back seats down and I was good.
Everything that I had fit in my dad's truck and my car. And we was like, okay, I was like, okay, this is cool. Moving, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Got to Nebraska and fed my inner child a bit too much. And when it was time to move from there to where I am now, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. I told you them Funkos were going to take up a lot of boxes now, didn't I?
You did.
And that shelf back there.
Shout out to Ryun from flying from Dallas to help me pack up my Funko Pops.
What a true friend.
Mm-hmm.
You're a true
friend.
Well, the audience don't know. I just thought it was so crazy because I'm like, Phoop, as a young lady, she got these two big, strong men in the home.
Look,
none of them helping her pack.
Those two big strong men
were
also
moving.
It was a lot going on in that house.
It was only right to bring you in as a third party because you weren't.
All y'all had third parties.
We did.
It only made sense.
Each roommate called two men in a truck, and Phoop called Ryun in a truck. That's all it was.
You got brunch out of it.
You
got
Right. It was good.
You got you a free
graduation dinner treated by Antoine.
That's what I'm saying. You got benefits out of it, but that that's just cleaning up the house, packing everything up. How you gonna get down there? How the rest of your stuff gonna get down there? It's
a lot.
What should I throw away and what should I not throw away?
Oh my God, it's money. It's money on money on money.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Yeah.
But all of that was happening. So that's why we couldn't we could have found some time to record, but it's a process. For those who listen to us and they also make their own content, it's a process. Recording, editing, putting that stuff together, posting it, promoting it. It's a process. Yeah. So trying to move and finish our master's program and doing all of that was going to be too much.
Look, and it's just the fact that some stuff just really had us busy. Like me and Phoop graduated on the same day. The second I walked the second I got across the stage, I rushed to my car and then I was getting on the phone and boom, Phoop was at the edge of that stage about to start walking. I said, yes, I made it.
He graduated on the same. I graduated that Friday. That next Friday, I left. Like it was literally like back to back stuff. And then not only the getting ready to move, it's the process of once you move and you have to unpack everything.
I set it
And
all back up. You just get
oh my
About a
adjusted,
god.
2 week
all of that,
process.
man.
Yeah.
I think it took me maybe 2 or 3 weeks to get everything officially unboxed.
And because y'all have roommates, y'all get to your new apartment. What don't I got? Dang, I do need a mop. I don't
Yeah,
got no
Right.
there's
ironing
that.
board.
It's all the small stuff.
Dang.
It's all that small
Antoine,
stuff that you gotta
yo,
get.
Antoine took that vacuum cleaner. I said, this motherfucker.
Cause look, no, I needed to get a new vacuum. I was like, man, I ain't got no vacuum.
I got hardwood floors, so I don't need a vacuum, but I did have to buy another mop. And I was like,
That little Oral-B mop that you step and spin.
It's that first store run you take to Walmart. That's insane. I have never spent that amount of money. And then inflation on top of that. So this not even
Yeah.
These not even regular prices.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, you need a Sam's card, bro. Sam's or Costco, just to help you out a little bit.
I got a Sam's card, but you know, sometimes like little things that you got to go to Walmart for. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, man,
I was
that's
like,
ghetto. I don't want to do that again for no time
shut
soon.
up. Right. Like, that was crazy. But yeah, that's where we've been at. So now we're back. About to give you guys some beautiful updates. I do want to start with the MCU stuff because we all saw Fantastic Four last night. And I feel like, and San Diego Comic-Con is happening this weekend. So we got some MCU news, a little bit of some Avatar stuff that I want to get into. But to start with the MCU stuff, so I don't know who it was, but Kevin Feige sat down and answered a few questions about the future of the MCU. It's a 7-year plan. He said it's traditionally a 5-year plan, but this one that he's talking about is a 7-year plan. And he talked about the Mutant Saga, the possible recastings of characters like Iron Man, Captain America. He talked about the fact that they can't bring in Miles Morales until the Spider-Verse is over. He answered some more stuff, but the biggest thing I want to talk about, just because we're about to get into Doomsday, we do have Spider-Man coming after Fantastic Four, but Doomsday is about to be the next Avengers event. And one of the questions they asked him was about the whole Kang situation. And he said that they never had any plans, or they were already moving past Kang the Conqueror being the big villain for the Avengers.
Cap.
I'm trying to find the actual part. Okay, here's the actual part. They said the studio, based on this article from Variety, they said the studio had grown wary of Kang's health as a character before Ant-Man Quantumanium hit the theaters. The full quote is, "We had started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and that there was only one character that could be that because he was that in the comics for decades and decades. We started talking about Dr. Doom even before we officially pivoted from Kang. In fact, I had started talking with Robert Downey Jr. about this audacious idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out." I don't believe you.
There might have been something else that persuaded that decision.
I could understand a plan B for, like, say when Quantumanium comes out and everybody's reaction to Kang isn't what they thought it was going to be. And then it was like, okay, they don't really like Kang. Let's pivot to Dr. Doom. I can see it as like a plan B thing, but I feel like the way that they set Kang up, despite the whole thing that was happening with Jonathan Majors, the way that they were setting up Kang the Conqueror was making him feel like, yeah, they finna have some trouble with this man.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Here you go.
A lot of businesses a lot of businesses will try to have their plan Bs up and running. But the way that y'all presented Kang in your marketing, the following y'all put behind Jonathan Majors, I'm assuming he had a nice little 5-year plus contract. I'm assuming it had to be a minimum 5 to 7 plus years. The way that you all was hyping this man up, to say that you only did this, but you already had in your head it wasn't going to work. Why did y'all release everything? Why didn't y'all start to pivot earlier? Why did it take until all that other stuff happened for y'all to be like, yeah, we wasn't even feeling Kang for real? Really?
Because I remember how everybody, when one of his variants, because the whole thing with Kang the Conqueror, and I thought it fitted well with the whole idea of the Multiverse Saga, is because of the variants thing. So when we got into Loki season 1 and one of his variants appeared and everybody went nuts, like Kang the Conqueror's coming and all of these different variants and this multiversal war and things like that. And then when they announced that Avengers 5 was originally going to be Kang Dynasty, I was like, oh, this is going to be crazy. So we're going to have Avengers from all of these different universes fighting these variants of Kang and stuff. Like, this is going to be nuts.
Exactly.
I don't know if I don't think we're going to get the answer to this, because Kevin Feige has already came out and said what he wants to say on this, and probably just wants to nip it in the bud and have everybody look forward to Doomsday. But I would like to know why they didn't see Kang as a Thanos level threat, especially if the whole theme of this saga is supposed to be multiverse. And we are learning about incursions, and we're learning about variants, and we're learning about the TVA and how they handle certain timelines and variants and things like that. They're tying in the Fox X-Men universe into things like this. Like, I would like to know what aspects of Kang the Conqueror did they not feel like he was a Thanos level threat.
I feel like if they went in a different direction than they did, maybe with the Loki season. So the setup was good, and I feel like he could be that type of villain. But I feel like the way they set him up was in a way like, this is not a person that's gonna come for like world domination or something like that. He's just doing what his role or what he feels like his part is, and people might not agree with it, but that's not like a Thanos. I'm finna come in and take away half of the population. He's just finna
But
go
my
and sit on his throne and do his thing.
But my thing is that the original plan, before we had Doomsday and Secret Wars, that it was going to be Kang Dynasty. And I think Doomsday or something with Doctor Doom was still in the plans, that Kang was going to lead up to Doctor Doom or something like that. I know, if I remember correctly, it wasn't just going to be Kang, that somehow they were going to lead up to Doctor Doom. But I don't know. For y'all to name a whole Avengers level movie after him and then say he's not a big enough threat like
Yeah.
Thanos,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird to me.
I feel like what really happened, they probably did have a plan B. But once they figured out that audiences just weren't enjoying Kang, and then it was also that publicity issue.
I don't think it's that people weren't enjoying Kang. That was my perspective for what I was seeing on my socials. Nobody disliked Kang the Conqueror. I think what a couple things that left a bad taste in their mouth is the stuff that happened with Jonathan Majors, and the fact that they had the man lose the Ant-Man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how can I attach we know the Jonathan Majors stuff put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, but how can I look at this villain that the entire franchise is being named after, and y'all even consider letting Ant-Man be the one to beat him out of all heroes?
But based on this statement, when it says that we started talking about Doctor Doom even before we officially pivoted from Kang, he said, in fact, I started talking with Robert about the idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out. So another thing I'm going to pull out my ass is that maybe they really wanted to do Doctor Doom. And when they read that Ant-Man 3 script and saw that Ant-Man was going to defeat Kang the Conqueror, they was like, this is perfect.
Now's my chance.
Probably chance because now you're not an Avengers level threat.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
You're an Ant-Man level threat.
You're not.
You're not. If you get defeated you got defeated by Ant-Man, you're not an Avengers level threat.
Yeah.
There it goes, right there. Yeah, keep that. Let that go right there.
Yeah, they kind of capped him off with that.
So I feel like there's a lot of things like behind the scenes that we won't know, and this is just Kevin Feige just saying this so y'all can stop asking me, and we finna go see Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's a lot of other things that play with this, but I just don't fully believe that Kang was not supposed to be an Avengers, originally not supposed to be an Avengers level threat. Like, y'all had a whole movie named after him. Like, even the end credit scene, despite how you feel about Ant-Man Quantumania, that end credit scene with all of those Kang variants gearing up, ready for war, I was like, oh, this is about to be nuts.
Yeah. It obviously they just took a pivot, but it's interesting because if they did Kang right, they could have easily also made Doom come next, and then we would have already had a pre-established Thanos in a way, because y'all could show signs of him, still have Kang as this big Avengers bad, and you already got the next Avengers big bad coming up next. If they planned it right, that could have been cold.
For those watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really thought that Dr. Doom was always in the plans and that Kang was just going to lead up to Dr. Doom. Either it was going to be they were going to be working together, or Kang was going to be doing the bidding or something like that with Dr. Doom. So yes, he was going to be an Avengers level threat, but it was going to be leading them up to Dr. Doom.
So he wasn't like the final boss. He was like the boss before last.
If I remember correctly, from when they first announced the Kang Dynasty, because I feel like there was, I don't know if it was called Doomsday. Avengers 6 was called Doomsday. But I thought Dr. Doom was supposed to come up in there.
Because which phase would this have been when Kang Dynasty was?
It still would have been phase 6. It was still going to be was Fantastic Four still on the docket?
Because that's my thing. I'm like, I'm not against that. Yeah, it was going to be Kang Dynasty, then Secret Wars, but now one of them got.
Okay, so it was Secret Wars, and pieces coming together. Because they were leading up to Secret Wars, I think that's where the Doctor Doom stuff started coming in, because they were going to be adapting the 2015 Secret Wars storyline, which is heavy with Doctor Doom. And I think that's where I got the notion that the Kang Dynasty was going to eventually lead us to Doctor Doom, because they were doing Secret Wars.
Gotcha. Which ain't bad. I mean, shoot, even before Thanos, we had Ultron and someone else, if I remember correctly. Loki.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense for you to have some big bags lined up, but now it seems like y'all just fully tossing Kang, which makes a weird discontinuity, because it's like, dang, what y'all gonna do with that last Ant-Man scene at this point? Just say F it.
We're going to do a mob review on this, so don't worry. We're going to be back on our mob review grind. We're going to do a mob review of Fantastic Four, but just my initial thoughts coming out of Fantastic Four is that I'm not sure I like the way that Marvel has been handling this multiverse saga. Because the next movie that we're getting after this is Spider-Man, and Kevin Feige has already confirmed that this new Spider-Man is going to be a street-level Spider-Man story. He's not going to be dealing with any outer world-ending events like his previous movies.
Yeah.
Or his previous appearances, I'll say that. But so I'm not expecting
which is kind of a downgrade in a way.
I guess it depends on how you look at it. Like, if you're used to the MCU Spider-Man fighting multiversal and alien threats and all of these world-ending type things, then yes. But at the basis of it, Spider-Man is technically a street level hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like even in his animated series, and even like if you want to look at like the Tobey Maguire and even the Andrew Garfield movies, like they weren't fighting multiversal variants. They weren't fighting Thanos. They weren't
Yeah.
turning in the Rillo packs.
And with
They were
the
just fighting people.
Yeah, and with the original Avengers gone, is he especially just going back to his usual routine?
And then it's also the fact that nobody knows him. Like at the end of No Way Home, he did the spell that made everybody forget him. So even with this Doomsday, Doctor Doom, multiversal stuff growing, they don't know who you is, big dog, to even call you up.
Yeah.
So I feel like a street level movie at this point makes the most sense for Spider-Man. But the reason I brought that up is because after Spider-Man is Doomsday. And I just don't think they're going to put something in Spider-Man 4 that is going to push us into Doomsday, which is what I was expecting Fantastic Four to do.
Is he supposed to be in Avengers?
I didn't see him on the cast list.
Mm.
When they did that whole thing, that 9-hour, 8-hour string of showing names on chairs for 15 minutes, I don't remember seeing his name. So it's possible that he might not be in Doomsday, but he could be in Secret Wars.
Okay.
So it could be something that leads up to him being, I guess, reintroduced in a way, but maybe just not for the very next movie.
My whole thing is besides that, I just don't like the way they've been handling the Multiverse Saga. And it could be possible that at first, when Kang the Conqueror came into the mix, I was like, okay, certain things are starting to make sense because we're talking about incursions, we're talking about variants, we're talking about Kang and this multiversal war and all of his different variants. So Multiverse of Madness, Loki season 1, and all of these things started giving us pieces that were going to eventually lead to Kang. And then they were like, okay, we're not going to do Kang, we're going to do Doctor Doom. And it was like, okay, well, some of the setup pieces still matter, but now I don't know how we're going to lead into Doctor Doom. And that's one of my concerns for Doomsday, that it's going to be a lot of shoving information down your throat.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of for Doomsday.
Because they've done no real build up for him. I don't think, not that I can, right?
Only the end credit scene,
right.
Fantastic Four.
That's the only time we've seen
anything. I don't even know if you would call that a build up. We know Doctor Doom is coming. We know Doctor Doom is coming. So you showing him in the end credit scene, it's not like what's that mean with that lady? What about it's not a we knew the man was coming. So it's like
that'll be my issue with a few villains though. Like when I'm looking at Marvel, at least these past few movies, it's as if the villain would come. They got these excellent world-destroying abilities, whether it's Galactus, that's how you pronounce the name, that depressed dude, and Thunderbolt,
Sentry,
and Kang, and everybody else. It's almost as if, oh, here's this big bad. We're going to win the fight somehow. We didn't slowly make you think that, oh my gosh, the world is actually finna get destroyed. We didn't do this build-up where we saw people actually getting defeated and losing. It kind of just was like, oh, by the midpoint of this movie, someone lost. By the end, we're done. And it seems like that's been a trend for a lot.
But I feel like that was the same thing even in the Infinity Saga. Like, the Avengers didn't actually really lose until Infinity War. Like, yes, yes, Civil War. If you want to talk, I was gonna zone in on Civil War. That I guess the loss is that the Avengers broke up. Like, we no longer have a solidified Avengers group. So there's tension between the groups going into Infinity War. But they still beat Zemo. They locked them up.
But I feel like that was a part of it, though. Like, you actually had multiple stakes being played at that point. Like, right now, the only thing that could be an issue of Doomsday is, oh, these heroes haven't even met each other. Like, oh my gosh, they're just going to be this team that has to unite and fight Dr. Doom. But if you don't either, one, build up all of these folks getting to know each other very well so that we can feel attached to them, or two, build up Dr. Doom as this big bad who you hinted at in your movie. Now we're just going to get here and it's going to be, oh, team up, we won, it's over.
Well, my counter argument to that is that the teams in an Infinity Wars, they didn't know each other. Like, a lot of like some of these teams didn't interact with each other. Like the beginning of Infinity War is Doctor Doom and Iron Man meeting each other for the first time. Fair. As well as meeting Spider-Man for the first time, as well as meeting Hulk for the first time, them meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time, War Machine and some of them Avengers going to Wakanda for the first time and interacting with them. But the difference is that we got to know majority of these characters and their personalities and how they perform as groups before we got to Infinity War.
We even got bits and pieces of like the big bad villain, you know, before we got to the actual Avengers movie.
Yeah, because Thanos had an end credit scene at the end of Age of Ultron,
right?
When he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this to myself.
Right. So I feel like they started introducing him early, so we didn't get to know him, but we at least know like it's building up to something like that.
Yeah.
And the only excuse that I can give the MCU for them not doing that with Doom is because I think it was supposed to be Kang. Like the plan A was supposed to be Kang because they were doing all this build up. We've seen him like 3 times before y'all said we're going to pivot and do Doctor Doom. If Doctor Doom was always the plan, originally the plan, I think we would have got teases of Doctor Doom in some of these previous movies before we got up to this point.
Which goes back to the original point, and I think you're onto something because I feel like if we're looking at how their trends when these new phases, if we was hinting at Doctor Doom in this movie, I mean not Doctor Doom, if we was hinting at Kang in this movie, if we was hinting at Kang and the Thunderbolts, oh he done built his strength up, oh he done found this new weapon or something, then the next Avengers Kang Dynasty would have been like, oh man, this dude coming back for blood. Like, he at least gonna recognize Ant-Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, if we had went from the end credit scene with Ant-Man Quantumania with all these Kang variants and went into the Kang Dynasty, we know what y'all finna go up against. It's a plethora of this man. Yeah. And you don't know how they're going to pop into these different and we've been introduced into different universes like Fantastic Four, they're on a different universe. At the end of the Marvels, they're on a different Earth. Monica is on a different Earth with the Fox X-Men. Deadpool and Wolverine were on a different Earth. We still have 616. Was it 838 was the Earth that they went to in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness when Wanda messed all them folks
Something like that.
So I'm just saying we had multiple entry points for Kangs to pop up in different variants that we know and remember. And it was like, he could have lit this shit up. Honestly.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, in the end of we're gonna do the actual review, but like in the end of the Fantastic Four movie, if instead of a Doom and Kang was still in the plans, and we see Kang pop up, oh, this is gonna be the next world I take over, or just some type of little moment where we see him pop up, say he's finna do his big bad. That's how you build it up. That's how you let me know, oh, this dude coming back for blood and we finna have a real good villain. Versus Dr. Doom, and the only foreshadowing we got for him was all of y'all San Diego Comic-Con events. Like, it's no surprise, but it's also like there's no build-up. Unless you're just a huge comic fan, you're like, what's going on?
I really just think the pivot from Kang to Dr. Doom has made us lose context.
Yeah.
And I feel like Avengers Doomsday, we're going to have to get force-fed a lot of information.
Who this guy is, what his deal is, why he doing all of this, all of that.
Yeah,
it's going to have to be in that movie.
Like we're about to get force-fed a lot of information. I don't even know how long this movie is going to be. Like, I know Endgame touched 3 hours. Infinity War didn't touch 3 hours, but I think it was close. I would not be surprised if Doomsday is between 2 hour 30 minutes and a 3 hour movie, just because of everything that they have to cover.
It's gonna have to be.
And you said Secret Wars is focused around Dr. Doom, right?
Yeah.
So in this movie, they need to get a head start in one, making Dr. Doom look like a very big villain, and then two, letting these Avengers giving us some emotional attachment to the characters and letting us bond with them.
They gotta do a Infinity War level entrance for Doomsday. Like, he has to come in and tear somebody up bad.
Yeah.
Because like
Come in and choke Spider-Man out of something.
Like blow up a universe or Earth or something. Go punch Galactus or something.
And do permanent damage. Don't let it be fixed within the next 30 minutes. Actually do some damage that scares us a little bit.
I think he has to come up to the scene and do something so insane.
It's gonna bring everybody together.
That everybody clutches their pearls. It's 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because if not, then I feel like that first movie is just gonna be a lot of information and not a lot of action or anything. It's just gonna be a lot of build up, everybody getting to know each other. Oh, we got this big villain.
And I don't think that's bad. Well, I would say people getting to know each other is not bad because they had to do the same thing in Infinity War. Like, Jump really didn't hit the fan until the final act of the movie when they fought in Wakanda. However, it's just that I feel like we're gonna either have to jump into these conversations with the assumptions that somehow these people know each other, like we've missed conversations because we don't have time for that in the movie, or they are going to give us time for that in the movie, and most of the movie is going to be dialogue and exposition and who's Doctor and explaining who Dr. Doom is for the 10th time.
Which I'm not mad at if they do it right, because otherwise you're going to have them fight this villain and we haven't got no attachment to any of the characters or the villain themselves, and it's just is what it is. I would rather y'all do quality exposition. Give us time to bond with these characters. Give us time to feel attached. Hype up the big bad. We ain't got to beat him in this one movie. Let him do some damage, and that's what I'm saying. Like, let him do some damage. Make him the reason that we even connect even harder and stronger, and we're really good friends now. And make Secret Wars a hit. That's probably the only thing they can do successfully.
I feel like they are going to do that. I mean, they have no choice.
They have no
choice.
Unless they want to disappoint us.
I don't think they want to disappoint us. I honestly don't think that anybody comes into making an MCU movie and be like, you know what? I want to disappoint you guys.
Yeah.
I want to piss you off.
I want to piss you off.
I want to piss you off. I don't think anybody comes with that thought, but I'm really curious to see how they lay all of this out in Doomsday, because coming off of Fantastic Four, it's going to be a lot of heavy like exposition and understanding what's going on. Once we get to this movie, and with the Russo brothers being back because of how they did Infinity War and Endgame, I'm not nervous about what they're gonna do, but they are playing with a lot of characters that we haven't had a lot of time with, and they also have to build up Dr. Doom, which we haven't gotten any build up for at all. Not movie wise, like everybody knows he's coming because of like social media and interviews and things like that, but movie wise, no.
Basically, Kevin Feige, the Blerd mob's calling Cap.
I think it was a plan. I think it was a plan B. My final words is that Dr. Doom was a plan B. And if they were going to do Secret Wars, I think it was supposed to be Kang to Dr. Doom, from Kang Dynasty to Secret Wars, Kang to Dr. Doom. And I think plan B was like, what if we just did Dr. Doom? And then all this stuff happened with Jonathan Majors, and they were like, you know what? You remember that plan B?
Remember that little thing we got in that drawer back there?
Remember that thing back there? What on the SpongeBob movie? What about Plan Z? Plan Z.
So my question would be, what about those announcements about the recast and doing a reset? Do you feel like that was a plan B, or was that a part of plan A with Kang?
That was always the plan. I was not surprised. Like, Kevin Feige's been saying this, and if you know a little bit about Secret Wars, the universe resets at the end of the story.
So this is like their Flashpoint paradox, basically.
No, this is not a Flashpoint paradox. This is not a go back in time and fix the universe. At the end of the story, in these two universes encourage, and Dr. Doom makes Battle World. And at the end, when they beat Dr. Doom, at the end of it, they create a new universe where characters from both universes both exist on the same universe. That's how the comic book storyline goes. I don't know how they're going to do it in the movie, but the fact that they were doing Secret Wars should have told everybody we're about to get a reset. Okay. And the fact that we're going to get to the Mutant Saga, the biggest thing for the reset is so the X-Men can come in.
Right.
But also, with doing a reset, the MCU does have the opportunity to recast characters that either were written off or passed in the 616 universe. So that's where he was talking about those recastings for like Iron Man and Captain America, because if we're going to reset to a new universe, we can do that. We're on a new universe. Right. See, the reset to me, the reset was always the plan. If you're going to do Secret Wars, the reset was always the plan.
Okay. Okay, I'm not mad at that because I was just interested. I was like, now that we're doing all the recasts, because everybody loves their conspiracies, their DC versus Marvel, their console wars and all that. A lot of people is like, oh, Kevin Feige watched Superman, and that's like he's like, oh, it's trying to reset the universe. I was like,
no, that's not
actually planned, or
the reset was always the plan. That's the only way they were going to get the X-Men in there in a way that made sense.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And Secret Wars was the perfect way for them to do that.
Okay. And what do y'all want to see out of that once we get into this reset?
I would like to see. I'm excited for the X-Men overall. And I know that Kevin Feige mentioned that he was going to play around with a younger cast of heroes. So I'm very interested to see, because there's a ton of X-Men characters. Not just the ones like the bread and butter that we always know, Cyclops and Jean Grey and Storm and Wolverine. There's a ton of X-Men members that I would be curious to see which ones come to light first. Are we going to get like Psylocke? Are we going to get like Magic? Are we going to get Jubilee? Are we going to get Bishop?
Right.
Like,
it just really opens up the world of possibilities that they have. So I'm excited for that part, at least, to see how they do that.
Yeah.
So.
And do you think? Because now I'm really just asking you questions, Phoop, because when it comes to the timelines, X-Men were basically like some of the first like superhuman mutant characters in the MCU. Like it starts with them and then you work your way into the heroes. Or like Captain America's like one of the first engineered heroes and then you get into the rest. Like how does that work in the grand scheme of things? Outside of what MCU had to do versus like what they probably will do.
I don't know the exact timeline. Because there's like so much stuff. I know it's like X-Men wise, if they talk about Apocalypse and how Apocalypse was like the first mutant and things like that. I don't know the exact timeline, but I know I think like Captain America and Wolverine were like around at the same time. Actually, Captain America, Wolverine, and Magneto were like all around at the same time.
Okay.
As well as Winter Soldier. Because Captain America's thing is like World War II. And Magneto is a Holocaust survivor. And Wolverine was also around during World War II. So like there's a ton of people who were like around at the same time. But I think because when the MCU was starting, they didn't have the rights to the X-Men. They couldn't include those people in there.
Okay.
But I don't know, like when we get to, if you're asking like how is everything going to be set up chronologically when we get to the Mutant Saga, I don't know.
Because I asked, because like if I was trying to get a vision for how this is going to work, it's like Mutant Saga post Secret Wars. We're probably going to get like 3 solo films for like different mutants or like a couple mutants here versus like a full X-Men. Then we're going to jump into like World War II, Magneto snaps, F this, and now we get Captain America. Now the heroes are coming in.
That's what I was thinking.
They could. They also might not even go back. They may just establish Magneto and it's like, yeah, I'm here.
Fair.
We could pop into the Mutant Saga and like the X-Men are already established. And the solo movies that we're getting are younger heroes that are transitioning into being X-Men, just showed up, are in the X-Men, but it's more like coming of age, like adapting to my powers, figuring out how it is to be like a hero and things like kind of how like Spider-Man Homecoming was. When he was coming off that first big battle in Civil War.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So we may not even go back in time and do like origins. Like we might just be in the thick of it, but our focus is these younger X-Men heroes adapting to what's going on in present day.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know. I can't tell you because I think the earliest they said the movie might come out is 2028.
Right.
So we still got some years before we even get there.
Which makes sense because Secret Wars is still slated for 2027, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So give it a year. Come back in a year and come back in a year and ask me.
Okay. All right.
All right. Oh, I do want to mention this though. Not shameless. I would like everybody to go watch K-Pop Demon Hunters. I meant to say this at the beginning of the podcast and I forgot. I need everybody. If you listen to the Blerd Mob podcast, I need you to go to Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, go on your mama's Netflix. And I need you to watch K-Pop Demon Hunters. That
Watch
movie
your mama's
is
Netflix.
And that movie is great. It's great.
I'll second that. That is a good movie.
That is a good movie.
How many times you watch it, Phoop? Let the world know.
I've maybe watched it like 10 times. I'm not afraid to say it.
Absolute cinema.
I'm not afraid to say
absolute Cinema.
Absolute cinema. I'm not afraid to say it. The story is pretty good. I mean, it's a kids movie, so of course it's gonna have a bit of plot holes, but it's a children's movie at heart. But the plot's pretty good. The songs are bops. And I like the characters. And the animation is nice. Sony animation, like they're coming off like the Spider-Verse and the things like that.
Yeah,
is
real bright colors and stuff like that. It was pretty nice.
Okay.
And the message of the movie is great. I just want to put that out there. Watch K-Pop Demon Hunters. Watch it. So we can get a sequel so they can fill in these plot holes. So I can get more K-pop into my veins. It's actually made me go and listen to more K-pop. Like actual K-pop groups.
I will say this. I've had 2 extended sessions of exposure to K-pop and it's not bad. I went to this like Asian Heritage Week at out in Grand Prairie. They had all the food vendors and everything else. And I walked around this shopping center because they just had like a lot of stalls and everything up. And I walked to the corner. There was a little room. I heard some loud music, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And it was like a, so you don't hear what you're going on. You're just walking down a tunnel. And I just saw all these K-pop groups, like indie groups, girls, guys, mixes, who were just like look like they was dancing in their garage, and they put on the show. And I'm not going to lie, I cringed a little bit. But every now and then, I was in the corner going,
"It's not so bad."
I like this little K-pop.
I'm over here like looking at their outfits now. I'm like, okay, this group, they had some good dance moves. This group, hey, that single was hitting. Hey, Buddy over there, he had some sass. Like Buddy was like the lead singer. He had some sass with it. I was like, okay, y'all killing the game now.
What were they doing? K-pop group battles?
No, like dances, songs, like it looked like a concert, like different. It was a competition, like all these different groups, whether it was a trio or 7 folks up there, they just were competing. Dance, choreography, singing, outfits, all of that, bro.
Cool.
And at first, I was like, this is a little off-putting, but I'm kind of a lame dude, so I'm exposing myself to other nerdy cultures.
I'm a lame, so let me expose myself to K-pop.
Yeah,
it's not what you should get from this.
But it was about. Then I went to this restaurant, and they had a stage set up in case you wanted to do what's it called, karaoke, and all they had was K-pop music videos playing in the background, and some of them were hitting. I was like, okay, I see why y'all into this.
There are some good K-pop songs.
Yeah,
there's quite a few.
Yeah,
like there's some good K-pop songs, and I'd be like, But K-pop Demon Hunter is like, yeah, go check that out. It's the best hour and 40 minutes you could ever spend.
You and Antoine should start a K-pop dance group.
What?
I just don't think.
You and Antoine should do it.
I just don't think that's what we should take from this.
That's all right.
Phoop, you can bring the sass. Antoine can bring the dance. He'll hit a flip on stage.
They need more than, I think they usually, at the least, it's got to be 3 people. So that means you have to join. King
can sing / rap.
No, you have to join.
No, right. Yeah, no. I will support.
Yeah, right.
No, you've been there.
I'll design your outfits.
I would not let you design anything that goes on my body. I would not let you design anything that's supposed to go on my body.
I'll put you in some fly.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I'm gonna have you looking. I'm gonna have you looking like the characters from Kill la Kill.
And that's why I said no.
You ever watch Kill la Kill? You ever watch Kill la Kill?
Yes, I did. I watched the first episode. I've watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, "Why they got her dressed like this?"
All right, we can put Antoine in one of them outfits.
We're not.
No, we're not. I think that's going to send
the 6-pack out.
That's going to send the wrong message.
They're gonna get me off stage expeditiously.
That's going to send the wrong message. What's that Vine? I didn't know that this was a whorehouse. No, we just seen K-pop. Why is he dressed like that?
Why he dressed like that? Why is that young man dressed like that?
Where your clothes at?
Where your clothes?
But I do want to spin the block back to San Diego Comic-Con. Well, we kind of didn't really talk about it. We just talked about the Marvel stuff. And I think Kevin Feige gave us all this info because he wasn't going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. But to spin the block to that, we did get, I don't even want to call it news. They had an Avatar panel at San Diego Comic-Con, and they gave us the first look of what Avatar Havens is going to look like. And a little recap, if you don't know what Avatar Havens is, that is the upcoming Avatar series that is going to follow that. 7 Havens. My bad. Avatar 7 Havens. It's supposed to be the next series and follows the Avatar after Korra. And me and Ryan did a video about this, about the Avatar is now being labeled as humanity's destroyer because Korra did some shit and the world is in disarray. But we finally got a look of what the character is going to look like, what the animation is going to look like. I don't know what nation they're on or what haven this is.
That's probably going to have to be a new terminology, actually.
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably 7 Havens is probably going to have to deal with the fact it's probably in 7 pieces now. But I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about the fact that Avatar. Where's the trailer for that movie?
You know what? Let's do that.
The movie is supposed to come out next year, October 2026. Where's a trailer? Where's a teaser trailer? Where's something? You mean to tell me y'all went up there to San Diego Comic-Con and didn't show me shit about this movie?
Here's my thing. You're absolutely correct because y'all are known for shutting stuff down, pushing stuff back, and I'm like, out of all the things you could have showed at San Diego Comic-Con, this movie's coming out when? When's Avatar movie set slated for?
It said October 2026. Like it's supposed to come out next year.
Like we're pretty much a year, 3 months away, and y'all ain't give us more clip art, a small trailer for that. Instead, y'all do 7 Havens.
At least another still. Like the only thing we know is that one little photo that I think they showed. It was either at last year's Comic-Con or the year before that.
Where it looked like they were just lined up, just standing there.
Yes,
and
that's the only thing we didn't see.
Like we could have heard their voices or something, a sound clip, like something out of all things, y'all could have showed something. Like, I get it, y'all got multiple projects and y'all want y'all investors to be happy, but it kind of was like a big, hey, we don't care if you're excited for this, we'll talk to you about it when we feel like it type of situation.
And if they, and you know what, they have a right to do that. That's fair. I'm just complaining that we've been seeing everything else in regards to Avatar except that damn movie. Like, even when they announced Seven Havens and the Korra versus Aang war started back up, I was like, y'all, don't let this distract you from the fact that we started movie.
You've heard nothing.
At this point, is the movie coming out? Are we being hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray?
And that's my fear. And that's my fear. I'm like, are y'all just trying to postpone? Are y'all just trying to delay letting us know that y'all have canceled it? Because that's how I'm looking at it. Because now I'm worried. I'm like, is it actually even going to come? Because we've seen how y'all perform.
Because we went from a planned trilogy of different Avatar characters to just an Aang trilogy. Yeah. And the first movie in the trilogy has been pushed back like twice. And the only thing that we have is a statement about the animation. And I think I sent it in the Twitter group. I'm going to read the statement and the picture. So they said that the only thing that was the statement about the animation. They said there is nothing that looks like this. It's 2D animation with these really beautiful, deep canvas environments. It's going to blow you away. Well, it better do something. Because it better do something, because I would like to see it. And this is, like I said, this is just me complaining. But I would have liked to see a teaser trailer or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad that they showed us what the animation and everything is going to look like for Seven Havens. I honestly feel like they are progressing with how they're revealing things to us about Seven Havens better than they are this movie. Because I think the Seven Havens, the official Seven Havens news came out. Was that February, March? That the official news came out, and now we're at Comic-Con and we're getting a first look at what the animation is going to look like. And I feel like that is a proper progression of how you could be showing us this information.
They shift focus to this.
That's what I'm saying. This movie, we're not getting shit about this movie.
Yeah.
We might get season 2 of Avatar on Netflix before we get...
We are going to get
when
season
is that supposed to be coming out?
That's supposed to be coming out, I think, the beginning of 2026.
There you go.
Because I'm looking at the old timeline for stuff that they had planned when they first put out a slate. It was going to be like Book 1 Water to live action 2023, Book 2 Earth summer 2025. Obviously, we ain't got that yet. Adult Team Avatar film in October 2025. Earthbender series winter 2025. So obviously those got pushed back. A Zuko animated film October 2026. Then there were supposed to be more spinoffs and a season 3 of the live action in 2027. And this is post, I think, after they already announced that the Kyoshi stuff was canceled and something else was canceled, right, Phoop? Your voice is off, by the way, Phoop. Because your screen went black and it did the thing.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because I'm like, when y'all don't show us something and y'all keep quiet, we get it. Y'all got a plan. We're going to walk in instead of just talking it. It's like, now I'm losing, instead of building up hype, now I'm building up worries.
I wonder
like, what
why,
are y'all finna do in the future?
Because I feel like Avatar is big enough where it's no problem for them to be able to drop something.
Objectively, Avatar is one of the few series, in my opinion, that has a big enough foundation to where they could continue to expand and grow like these other franchises.
There's a lot going on, man. Hold on.
Food getting the kids alert. Someone that got kidnapped and everything. And we can't even hear her no more.
I muted myself. I was finna unmute myself and everything when I said, "Oh no, let me stay on mute."
Hey, yo, that's funny.
Oh man, I was not expecting that. But can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you good and clear now.
Okay, it's something going on with my mic. I'm gonna have to go check that out. But then, other funny part, I stepped on the cord to my headphones, so I heard nothing you said.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of echo from you now too.
From me?
Is it just me that's getting that?
Yeah, I'm not getting much echo from her.
Okay. I had a lot went on at one time.
It did. But basically, I was just saying, it made when I look at the old slate Phoop and I'm looking at all this stuff they originally had planned, obviously it seems like we still got the new Earthbender, Adult Team Avatar, but it's like, y'all have delayed so much stuff so far and canceled a few things that it's like, instead of building up hype, you making me build up fear and upsetness, because where is this Avatar The Last Airbender universe that has so much potential to grow?
Not upsetness. Now that's a new word.
You just made
that
up.
Word.
You just made that up.
You know what's crazy? I had 2 instances of that at work, and the words are real.
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day. So
upsettedness is a non-standard word, meaning the state of being upset. Or
non-standard. Oh, wow. The key was non-standard.
It is an alternative form of upsetness.
Anyway.
Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, that Zuko movie, the last thing I heard was that, yes, that Zuko movie got canceled, that Kyoshi movie got canceled, and that Korra movie got canceled. And they were going to replace. They basically scrapped, from what I recall, they scrapped all of that and was going to do an Aang trilogy. They scrapped all of it because we talked about that too. About them canceling all those movies to expand the Avatar universe and just focusing on Aang.
Not your voice went out again. Yeah, oh my god, it's right. But Antoine, I guess I'm gonna ask you. Do you feel like they're making the right decisions? Because you're also an Avatar fan. Like, as a fan, what would you have wanted to see out of this whole universe?
Really curious in those movies, especially because when I always listen to Phoop and she's talking about like Kyoshi and all of that, I was really intrigued to see that. So the fact that they scrapped that, I was disappointed in that. The Aang trilogy, it's like I guess I don't know exactly what they were gonna put with that, but I'm kind of iffy on that. It's like if they did that in a good way, I wouldn't be like against it, but I wasn't just like over the top excited for it, I guess.
Yeah. And I'll agree, because like my whole thing is like when I look at the Phoop has the old Avatar books where they go into like Yang Chen, they deep dive more into Roku, obviously Kyoshi. And I'm like, y'all already have this excellent material written out, full storylines. Why are y'all not animating that for the fans?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Avatar could be so big if they really wanted it to. But just what's the confusion? What's going on? Are the right people not talking?
And that's what it makes me wonder, like, is Nickelodeon not backing them properly? Are they not getting enough funds? Because I'm like, when it comes to other franchises that have a proven fan base, Avatar got a whole orchestra going on tour right now. They going on their 20th anniversary tour and I got tickets. Y'all got the support. I don't see if y'all ain't getting the money, because why are we not getting these projects?
Exactly. I don't know, man. I hope I really hope they find that I don't know, that timeline, I guess I'll say, and really stick to it and really build off of that, because they could really build if they wanted to. But if they stop scrapping stuff.
I was talking to somebody off camera. I was like, even though Avatar's like the major focus, they really could focus on a side character.
They could.
The universe is so big, y'all could do a White Lotus dedicated spin-off series or movie.
They actually could.
Y'all could do the Legends of Iroh and give us an Iroh movie when he was young, before his kid died, before he transitioned to being the big jolly dude we know and love now. Like, there's so much that y'all could do. It just makes me wonder, like, is there a lack of creativity going on, lack of funding? Like, what's going on?
That's what I said. I was like, maybe the right people just ain't talking to get this like really into production like it needs to be.
Exactly. Similar to how our host ain't talking yet.
Oh my poor Phoop.
Because now I ran out. I was like, what else are we supposed to talk about today?
And I hope my audio didn't mess up either, because I had stopped recording for a second, but it jumped back on, so it jumped back on, so hopefully we good. But I got Audacity up anyway, so we should be cool. But
same.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because it makes me, moments like this just make me go, what is going to happen to my beloved franchise that I know other people love, and what will it take for us to grow? Because like looking at this earthbending girl, she looks cool. I don't really have much to go off of. She has a twin. I don't know if the twin is that airbending looking person in the background, because they got on like the colors as if they're an airbender, or they're more kind of like Jet, if you remember Jet from season 1, who's like a bandit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what is the plan for this avatar, and how are they going to make her unique?
Yeah,
because it looks like the cover out of like a JRPG.
yeah, and I am excited to see an earthbending avatar though. So I really hope they do her well with her peg leg.
Hello?
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Welcome
I
back.
don't know what's going on. And I heard what you said, Ryan.
What?
He said something, just like our host not talking about. But I was listening though, and I agree. I think they could do a lot of things with I honestly feel like we talked about this, Ryan, that the possibilities are endless on how they could grow Avatar into other media. And I already said my thoughts about the comics and stuff, how I wouldn't be a big fan if they wasted. Now, I won't say wasted. If they dedicated time to animating the comics, that wouldn't be my first preference. But I think the thing is just, I think.
I feel like, because I would love, if anything, I would love to see the books animated. But with the comics, I feel like that could have been a great transitionary, reintroduce this world to the fans type of moment in comparison to the live action. Because the live action, from what I remember, got mixed reviews. If they did adapt those comics, or rather just had this animated Aang and team as adults movie come out on time, that would have been a great way to reintroduce new audiences to Avatar, let y'all know why this series is top dog, and then bring all this other stuff down the pipeline.
I would have rather they dedicated their time for doing something for the novels than the comic books, because then it's more like a book to movie transition where we're visualizing events that a lot of people, some people don't read no more. Let's just be honest. Some people folks don't read no more. So if they were saying they were doing a Kyoshi movie or a Yang Shin movie or a Roku movie based on the novels, they in there because a lot of people ain't read the books.
Yeah.
I think the comics,
comics are a little bit more welcoming to people who may only prefer TV shows and movies than a full movie book.
But I also feel like whatever reason they decided to not do that trilogy, and I feel like it's because a lot of people wanted to see more Aang content. And that's when they were like, okay, let's forget about the Kyoshi, Zuko, and Korra movie, and let's just make an Aang trilogy. And I feel like because they decided to do that instead of, putting their foot down and being like, no, y'all finna get the Zuko, Korra, and Kyoshi movie, is probably the reason why we're not going to expand into other areas of the Avatar universe unless it's a new Avatar like what we're about to get, or a movie focused on people we've already seen or characters we've already attached ourselves to.
But a piece of me feels like the "we want more Aang" is a slight misinterpretation of what fans are saying. Because, like, yes, you're going to get the Aang versus Korra arguments. Someone like me, my biggest argument, which a lot of people may say, is I wish that they had planned ahead and didn't write that off as a one-off, and they actually got ahead of it and said, we have plans for a 4-season show. Because you can see the inconsistencies from season 1 and season 2.
Well, that's not their fault though. The whole thing that happened with Legend of Korra wasn't their fault though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We recognize that now. We got that information, and whether you appreciate it core or not, it's like still you still have the fans. We still want the art, the content. At this point, give us something good. Y'all already have some content with the novels. Y'all don't even gotta do nothing new. Even if y'all want to expand on characters, and I was telling Antoine, y'all don't even gotta focus on the Avatar. If y'all really want to push the needle, yes, it's the Avatar universe, but similar to the John Wick ballerina movie. You don't necessarily gotta focus on the Avatar. We could get an Iroh Legends movie. Let's show Iroh as a kid, attach us to another fan favorite, and grow the franchise, grow the universe that way.
But when does that turn into like milking the franchise instead of expanding it?
Because expanding the franchise doesn't necessarily mean you got to keep going in chronological order moving forward. Even what made Star Wars such a beloved franchise is that after the first couple of movies, they technically went back in the timeline and then released those movies.
I would say it would have to add something
but it's never. But when they go back in the timeline, it's never. Oh, let's see Obi-Wan as a little kid. Let's go see so and so as a child. Like when they go backwards, they're focusing on different areas of the Star Wars universe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We could even do the novels or just do other characters in general. Like even if you don't do Iroh, a history of the White Lotus and its founding. Like in Korra, we seen the first Avatar and his relationship with Kuvira and all that good stuff, and Rava. Then how that transitioned into Rava into because Kuvira was the middle earthbending chick.
His relationship with Kuvira, I was like,
yeah, it's a lot of auras and whatever. Him and Rava, like we could see like the founding of these different organizations in the Avatar universe. I know you talked about, I think the Roku book talked about how the Fire Nation, before it was united, it was like a whole bunch of different tribes and their own types of bending. Where's Fire Nation's, the origins of the Fire Nation? That could be a movie that would expand the universe.
It could be, but I think the anchor point, I think what would make it interesting if they were to show that, they have to make a Kyoshi movie. I think that's the anchor that's going to pull people in. Like, yes, we're teaching you about the history of the Fire Nation that predates Sozin and Roku and Azula and Zuko and Ozai and all of them. But at the center of it, it's Kyoshi as an avatar. But you're learning about all these different things.
Which I'm not mad about. It's just, my original question is, why haven't we been seeing that expansion? Like when me and Antoine was talking while your computer was going down, it's like, why are y'all not getting the investment, or the right people aren't in the right rooms? Like what's going on which is preventing that growth and development in the Avatar universe?
I don't feel like the wrong people are in the room. I think, and I don't remember when this was said, but I remember the creators were saying that they wanted to expand the universe in a way that makes sense. Like they don't want to expand it for the sake of expanding it. I think they want to expand it in a way that it stays true to what they've already developed. So I won't say that the wrong people are in the room. I feel like with something so sensitive like Avatar, because the minute that they come out with something that people don't like, it's pitchforks and torches.
What if they came out with, like, yes, people are complaining on Twitter, but like, what if they came out with, outside of the live action and core, what has actually dropped to let us see proof of concept?
So is the problem that the wrong people are in the room, or is the potential problem? Because we don't know. I feel like we're not going to know where everybody's head is at with this whole thing until we see Seven Havens or the movie, whichever one comes out first. And I feel like it's going to be Seven Havens. But we won't know where their head is at until that comes out. But it's the potential problem is that we're trying to polish the Cadillac. Like we built the car, but we're trying to polish it, and we keep finding things, and we're trying to keep on shining it and polishing it. And we found a stain here. Instead of putting something out that can grow and develop, we're trying to continue polishing this product.
Trying to make a perfect product.
So when it comes out, right. Are we being overly critical? Are we over analyzing things? are we focused on perfecting this one little area that's part of this big thing when we can just put out the big thing and then go and, polish the spots that we miss?
And I like that perspective. That's something you learn in business. You got to put out something. Sometimes you won't even get that good customer feedback until you give them something. We're not saying push out like a video game that ain't got no good, that needs like a day one patch of 20, 30 gigabytes, but put out one film. Let us see what's on your mind and then get the fans' opinion. Because at this point, how long has it been since Legend of Korra dropped?
It's been a minute. I think the last episode of Legend of Korra was maybe 2014. Was that 2014?
And how long has it been since Avatar Legend, the last Airbender with Aang dropped? With Fire, book 3 of Fire?
That was like 2000.
I was in elementary school. That was
early 2000.
That like in real life. What have y'all dropped outside of that Netflix live action? All these great books, all these great comics which have kept it alive. Y'all see that at least the people who can read are in love with this franchise.
But you talk about business, let's talk about investment. Like when these comics and stuff were coming, like these comics have been out for years. But how many people were investing in it? How many people were buying these comics? How many people were reading these comics? We haven't seen a significant jump in Avatar. The reason why Avatar is getting this significant jump is the same reason that anime has. Everybody was inside during COVID. We going back and watching TV, and now we have the original OG Avatar fans and then these new fans really loving this comic. And this how all this shit got booted up. But these comics have been out before then.
But I feel the comics just might not be as popular. Like you were just saying, people don't read. So everybody's not gonna go pick up Avatar comics. They're just waiting to see what animated is gonna be dropped.
Like even though the Avatar comics are out, they don't have I won't say they don't have, but I don't think they have the boost behind them like DC Comics and Marvel Comics has.
But that goes back into you and me's original argument where I'm like, well, go ahead and animate at least that. Like that would be easy. You got the old fans who don't read.
My counter argument is that if nobody was investing into these comics, if they weren't making these sales, why spend the money to put together an animation team to animate something that nobody's still investing in?
Well, that's the thing. Are they not you got to figure out. Are they not investing into the comics because the content of the comics is bad? Or are they not investing into the comics because the comic industry has been a dying industry in America in general?
Right.
Are they not investing in the comics because people reading has become a declining hobby in general outside of Barnes & Noble making collector's editions for current book readers?
Mm-hmm.
Like in general, what is the reason for those comics not surviving? Versus if you animated something.
But that's a possibility, but is it the possibility that when Avatar came out, that it was such a niche interest that you didn't have all this backing behind it for when the comics came out?
Well, but that's what I'm saying now. In current history, it's no longer niche. Cartoons and animation, video games becoming movies, it's no longer niche.
But that's my argument, though. You were saying, why haven't they already done it? I'm saying that Avatar hasn't gotten a boost like this. Has only gotten this boost is because of everything that happened around COVID. That's when Avatar Studios jumped up. That's when Netflix was like, okay, let's make us a live action. And now we're talking in 2025 when these comics have been out for years about why didn't y'all animate the comics? Where was the interest when the comics came out?
Well, but to say that there's interest in Aang, there was interest in a season 4 of Avatar: The Last Airbender way back when it ended in the 2000s, but then they dropped that booty live action movie that came out in the 2000s as well, and that was the reason for why they declined making a season 4. They wanted to hype that up. At this point, everybody's attached to Aang. You got the core v Aang. I'm gonna be real. If you are looking at the fans, especially the new ones, because now casual fans make up the market for almost every interest, especially post-COVID, what would they want to see? Either more of Korra, more of Aang. Well, you got to deal with the political stuff of Korra because everybody's misogynistic now and racist. So, okay, let's push Aang. Now you got two choices. Something new with Aang to adult him. Or y'all could even continue the season, go into your season 4, continue that season, up the graphics. Be like, now we're seeing Aang and Zuko's Fire Lord go there. See how they react. You already got the content. It wouldn't be too much new story building or nothing. It'll be an easier project than anything else y'all can make. After that, how does it do? Do they want to go back and learn about Kyoshi, Aang, Chen, and Roku some more? Do they want a new Avatar at this point? What are the fans looking for? But you haven't put out nothing except for live action. That's the only thing they've put out since. And COVID was how many years ago?
What was that, 5 years ago?
Yeah,
that was like March 2020. March 14th, 2020 was when quarantine started in LA. It's been 5 years.
I just feel like there's so much. But if you think about, okay, we're 5 years in. I think Avatar Studios and the live action got announced like 2021. So now we're looking at 4 years. And in the span of 4 years, we've only gotten the first season of the Netflix live action Avatar series and an announcement for a movie, a picture announcement for the new series, and a picture of the series and a picture of the movie.
I would say that is not a bad time. Like, if let's say 2020, like Phoop is saying, 2020 is when everybody got back interested into Avatar, and everybody and whoever these developers wherever got in the room, they was like, people want to see this stuff. Let's get to talking about what we're gonna do, and they're probably trying to. It is taking a long time, but they're like, okay, we got this plan. But like Ryan is saying though, they probably could have dropped something by now, but they just haven't within this 5 years amount of time that they've had. And I don't know, they could have, and it probably it would have brought people even more into the world since they've seen that we've all this interest has been building. Other than that live action,
I will say this: they have essentially, from my perspective, and I could be off, they have essentially pushing Avatar back into being a niche interest at this point. Because when you look at how the universe has grown, I'm going to my second Avatar Orchestra event in October because they're celebrating the 20th anniversary, 20 whole freaking years, and all we got is 2 series and a live action series and a horrible live action movie. Then we got the books. We got that Dark Horse Collector's Edition that me and Phoop both got of the original comics. The only reason this series is even still growing is because of the niche audiences who are still supporting it. Y'all are making it to where y'all are pushing everything so far back that it's no longer mainstream, in my opinion. Like, live action did kind of revitalize something, but now you're kind of like just kicking everybody else in the face who was a new fan from watching the series during the pandemic, or even the older fans who are like, what's coming next? Why haven't we gotten anything?
And that's why I think why they're progressing the way they are with the series, with releasing the news. Something's going on with that movie. I don't know what it is, but
I feel like it's going to get canceled.
Something's going on with that movie behind the scenes, and so they're like, okay, let's front run this series to keep everybody focused and interested into the franchise until we get this movie out. Because even though this second Roku book is coming out, if, like you said, folks don't read, and if you don't read and you're not really interested in, the novels, then the series is all you got to look forward to. And that's why I think they might be frontlining the series.
We just going to get a new Avatar every decade, it seems. Because that's the trend. 3 decades in a row.
I mean...
And a Aang live action. The next one's coming out 2031.
I don't think that's bad though. If you look at, because OG Avatar brought in a certain group of people. Then we get to the 2010s and Korra brings in a new set of kids into the Avatar universe. And now we're about to get to Seven Havens, and that's going to bring in a new group of kids and to grow with the Avatar franchise.
It just could probably just be more in between if they.
Keep going, Antoine.
Yeah, that's what I just feel like. Like you're saying, it's not bad that they're introducing these Avatars, because you're right, they are bringing in new audiences. It's just, I just feel like if they could do more. They could do it more in between if they really wanted to, and that would just really help with the continuity of what we got going on with Avatar.
I feel like it's a better than nothing situation versus offering something good situation. Like, we not finna ask American animators to get in a crunch and be working on an episode 5 hours before it actually releases on Crunchyroll like they did JJK. We're not about to do that to American employees, of course not. But it's not unrealistic to say, could y'all push out with, say, a studio of 40 people, a season 1 of a 2D series in 2 to 3 years? And then, because you're confident in your product, start working on the next season right after you finish and get on the Invincible timeline or these other animated series, the Rick and Morty timeline, and all these other series that have been proven to be successful. I think Rick and Morty does a season every 2 years. Avatar could have jumped on that wave if they were confident in their investment and if they planned accordingly. I don't think they planned accordingly.
I kind of disagree with that because Avatar Studios got officially announced in 2021. So we're looking 4 years since the official announcement. So from 2021, what year would you deem acceptable that they should have put something out? Because they still have to go into developing and production and animating and putting all these and storyboarding and all of this other stuff. So if the studio was announced in 2021, what is your thought of how long it should have taken them to put something out?
At the latest, February of this year. If it was February 2021, I'll give you 1 full year. One full year
to do some planning.
There we go. Plan, garner your investments, develop a roadmap, get your contractors, your lead artists, your lead story writers, your lead developers, call up the writers for the books that are already in progress, look at the content you already got and familiarize yourself with it. By February 2022, you need halfway through 2021, like October 2021. You should have announced the roadmap after you got all of that. February 2025, because that's a full 3 years after that 1 year of planning, we should have saw a full release product that was not that live action Netflix. And that's being generous. Because it's a 2D series. All I'm saying is 10 to 15 episodes of season 1. Even 10 is low. Like, it's the new trend, but it's not like I'm asking for much. They could have been 22 minutes, not even 45 minutes or an hour, like Game of Thrones, Invincible, and all these other series. That's not too much.
No, but I think the other thing is that you talk about Invincible and Game of Thrones, but those already have established content behind it. If we're talking about like new Avatar content,
that's what I'm saying, Phoop. It didn't have to be new. Whether they did the comics, whether they did the books, I would, even though I dislike this, I'm gonna say it. They could have just reanimated OG Avatar if they wanted to release something.
But that's why now we wasting resources. Now we wasting resources.
But that would have been stupid. But even so, that is a full, and I'm not going to say 4 years, because February 2021 to January 2022 is your year of planning. But from February 2022 to February 2025, y'all could have dropped at least one full-fledged project that was not that live action Netflix. Because Netflix probably had more ownership over that than anybody.
And that's fair. Do you think it's... Because the other piece of this is that they've announced that this is going to be 2 13-episode seasons. And the fact that they've already come out and said that this is going to be 2 seasons, do you think the delay is that they're developing both seasons as one full product instead of let's develop season 1, put it out, and while people are consuming that, let's work on season 2?
I hope not.
I think, if anything, the second they finish season 1, they're going to work on it. They're going to let what's those survey groups that they let come in and then watch the show or the movie, like it's a group of 10 or 20 and they get their opinions and then they edit. What's that name of that group?
I don't know the name. I know what you're talking about, though.
I forgot what they called. Get season 1, have those folks come and watch it. Once you polish that up, continue to work on season 2 while season 1 releases in like 6 months after you've done all of that. That's what any good project would do if they're confident, because you can't have people just sitting in the office doing nothing for any project, whether it's an entertainment or regular traditional corporate. You can't just have people sitting there. You got to work on something. So that would have been a bad idea in the first place. And honestly, I want to know how big the studio is. If the studio is 40 people, sure. All of y'all are working on is a 2-season series and a movie. That's overwhelming. But that's why you should also push out something so you can garner shareholders' interest and say, we need a team of 100. Give us some more money. You got to push out something to even get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could continue talking in circles about this. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what's going on with the movie. I'm excited for Seven Havens. We really didn't talk about the picture too much. We just went on a rant.
I tried to when your voice was going out, but
listen, nah, for real though. I don't know what's going on with my computer and my microphone. We already knew that this first episode coming back was gonna be a little rough. I didn't think it was gonna be that rough. We knew this episode was gonna be a little rough coming back in. I just didn't think my microphone was gonna go out 3 times, but here we are. But
we build a plane while we fly it.
We only got 5 minutes left. So my thoughts on the first look. I do want to read the quote from one of the creators. It says, so when Ryun edits this video, he should put a picture of what they showed at San Diego Comic-Con so y'all can see the same thing we looking at. But as you when you see the photo, you're gonna notice that this looks different from OG Avatar, and this looks completely different from the tone and the color grading and everything from Legend of Korra. One of the original creators said that it's something totally different. We like to change up the style. We like to make each project its own thing. As you can see, it still feels like Avatar, but the world is very different. You'll have to tune in to find out why. And I feel like the picture that they showed us looks I won't say downgraded is not the word. It doesn't look industrial like how Avatar Legend of Korra. It feels like we kind of like society has kind of regressed. Yeah. And I think that's
the setting, not necessarily the picture, just the setting.
The setting looks like we have regressed. And I feel like that ties directly into the cataclysmic event that happened, that when Korra had to break the 4 nations into these 7 pieces, whatever she did to reward the world, I feel like that's where that regression happened. Because we're standing here in the middle of a desert. There is a city in the background, but it looks sort of like Ba Sing Se or like Omashu or something like that. Like, it doesn't look like the Republic City backdrop that when they showed that first look of Legend of Korra. And I had a point to this and I lost it. Going back to the quote, and I feel like it's like that for a reason. That's why.
I will say this: if I analyze the picture, we got the Aurora Borealis up in the air. We got gemstones growing in the ground. It looks like it's almost like a desert. I don't really see any water in the distance, and they faded off the background with colors. We still got sense that the spirits are still involved. It looks all bright and colorful. If anything, baby girl face looks as if she's a little sad. It doesn't look like she's really happy. And her little cat creature looks like it's interested in what she got going on. So I don't really have a complaint because this don't really show me much. But it does look like, I think what I said off camera, like a generic JRPG. Like if I was looking at a 2D Japanese game coming to the PlayStation platform, especially PS4, this is like the design they went for. Don't necessarily disagree with it or dislike it. It just doesn't show me much.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at this design. I actually like it. I'm curious to see how it's going to come to play.
I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to see, because we know Avatar has like the fight scenes, and I wonder how all of that's going to come into play. Like, what is the bending going to look like now? What different, now that we're splitting up into these 7 havens, what do these new areas look like? And then if you want to talk about, because the nations are breaking up, what different groups of people, like, do we have more sub bending because maybe more, you have like these different nations are now blending together?
What type of organizations do the spirits have now that they're really ingrained in society? How have they impacted the way that people live?
And then we want to talk about the animals. I've never seen that cat creature before.
like a catcoon, like a bobcat and a raccoon mixed together. I don't know what it is.
Catcoon is crazy.
Catcoon, coon cat. That's just so much.
That's just my
That's
cat.
just so much less creative than a lion turtle. Lion turtle is that much more creative, huh?
He said, "What's that? A catcoon?"
That's so much less creative than a lion turtle, right? Okay. Everybody's a critic. Criticize.
I mean,
That's all.
lion turtle, catcoon.
Catcoon is cold. Coon cat. What about coon cat? Cool cat. Coon cat. How about that?
No, sir.
If we named our episodes like we used to, I want to name this one Coon Cat. How about that?
Not Coon Cat, please. But all right, so we ran out of time. But so we're gonna go ahead and shut this down. So once again, Ryun and Antoine, thank you for joining me for another episode of the Blerd Mob Podcast. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, whether this is your first time or 50th time listening to us. It's always great. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment on the things we talked about. We got pretty deep into the MCU, pretty deep into the Avatar updates from San Diego Comic-Con. And just let us know how you've been doing. We've been gone for a minute. So make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod. We're on Twitter at the Blerd Mob. And you can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blerd Mob Podcast. And I think that's it.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment like Phoop said, tell us how you're doing, and keep us updated. Did you say like and subscribe? No, you didn't.
I definitely said like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Antoine, speak for me.
I feel like she did say that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You feel? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Feel or know, Antoine?
I definitely said like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. And
if you did, my apologies, Phoop.
I appreciate it. Well, I guess with all that being said, it's great to be back. Thanks for sticking it with us. We got more content coming up. This is the mob checking out. Peace.
I will also say she had to split the world, and they saying it was a devastating cataclysm with the physical and spiritual worlds. I want to know, like, was it a spirit she was battling? Was there something outside of Rava and all of them